Tracking, alerting, protecting. This is WKYT Mid-Morning.
On WKYT this mid-morning, we're learning new details about a fire that has damaged a historic building in a historic Kentucky town.
The state releases test scores for every Kentucky school. We're breaking down the findings.
And it looks like it could be a sloppy start to the fall meet at Keeneland later today. Good morning, everybody. 10 o'clock the time on your Friday. We welcome you into Mid-Morning. I'm Bill Bryant.
And I'm Barbara Bailey. They always say that every day is a great day at Keeneland, but this is going to be a sloppy great day, I guess.
Pack your attitude today, right, and have a good one out there. Well, the horses will run anyway on that new dirt track. Let's check in with Micah, who's tracking things for us. Good morning.
Hey, good morning, guys. Yeah, absolutely they'll run. And I think you should run out there, too, because here's the deal. Look at your rain on the screen right now. That is the bulk of this system that's now moving on out. So the heaviest rain for today has already passed Lexington. However, you're still going to get that nuisance rain. That rain just kind of bothers you toward the afternoon. Spotty light showers and maybe a few sprinkles the rest of the day. So the heaviest rain over in the eastern zones, once it pushes on out, just look for some spotty on and off showers here and there. And maybe a few thunderstorms down toward the southeast. Much more on this as we head towards your weekend, because that's when that big front comes sliding on in, drops us down big time. I'll show you those numbers coming up.
All right, Micah, thank you. In the news this morning, investigators are taking a closer look at a historic building that's been damaged in an early morning fire.
Now, it started before 4 this morning on Main Street in downtown Harrodsburg. The building used to be City Hall and an opera house. A viewer sent us this eyewitness video of the early morning fire. There's a lot of damage, but the building is not destroyed. WKYT's Mark Barber is in Mercer County now with new details this morning. Mark?
Fire crews have roped off part of the street in front of the old opera house here in downtown Harrodsburg. They say they are keeping an eye on the building to put out any hot spots that may flare up. Firefighters say two people walking by the opera house around 3:30 this morning saw smoke and flames tearing through the old building. Harrodsburg fire crews say when they got here and started putting out the fire, the flames were shooting through the windows on the second and third floor. We're told Old City Hall has smoke damage and much of the old opera house has fire damage. But crews tell us the theater is fine. Many here say they recognize the old opera house as a Harrodsburg icon. We're told it housed the first fire station in the city, and a church now meets inside. Firefighters believe the fire started near the front entrance. Neighbors tell us that's where a construction crew has been working on the building.
They have been working on this building right in the area where they think the fire started. There's been a crew in there for at least a couple of days.
The fire marshal and state police are now trying to figure out what sparked the flames. At this time, they say they don't know what happened, but they don't suspect arson. In Harrodsburg, Mark Barber, WKYT.
Mark, thank you very much. And new on WKYT here at Mid-Morning, Richmond police are investigating an overnight stabbing. It happened around 2 o'clock this morning on Race Street. Police say the victim was taken to the local hospital with only minor injuries. It's unclear what led up to the attack. And this morning, Richmond police are still searching for a suspect. Also new this morning at 10, a motorcyclist has been flown to UK hospital after an overnight crash. It happened around 1 this morning in Pulaski County off Highway 192 east of Somerset. Deputies say 22-year-old Joshua Ping lost control of his bike and hit a guardrail and was ejected. Deputies do not have an update on his condition.
A Lexington business is in need of some repair work after an overnight burglary. Tonight, overnight, police say two teenagers smashed their way into Enterprise Rentals on New Circle near North Broadway. Once inside, they say the two 14-year-olds stole car keys. When police arrived, they found one teen hiding in the lot and quickly tracked down the other. One of them had a stolen gun. Both are charged with burglary and were released to their parents. New on WKYT Mid-Morning, Lexington police have arrested a man accused in the rape of a child. Luis Torres of Nicholasville is charged with rape. Police say the victim is under the age of 12. They say Torres subjected the Fayette County victim to sexual abuse on several occasions.
This morning, police are searching for a person of interest in a Kentucky murder case. State police want to talk with 37-year-old Kevin Howard of Owingsville. This week, police found human remains in the Grange City area of Fleming County. State police have already charged Charles Black in the case. Police do not have an identification for the victim, but they say the victim lived in northern Kentucky and had been missing for more than a month. A third arrest has been made in a violent robbery at a central Kentucky business. Danville police have charged Rico Penix, Robin Adams, and Patrick Brand with robbery and assault. And we've since learned that Brand was once a star player for the Danville High School football team. Danville police say the victim, Zoe Reed, was shot during a robbery last month at the Domino's where she worked. The 21-year-old has improved some, but is still in serious condition at UK Hospital. School assessment results are officially in for schools from across the Commonwealth.
One of the 51 Fayette County public schools, 13 were classified as distinguished. 9 received proficient ratings. School Superintendent Dr. Tom Shelton says 2/3 of the schools in the district did score higher than they did last year.
Overall, we have a lot to celebrate in the district. We had very, very high achieving schools, and overall our scores did increase. We moved from the 55th to the 65th percentile, and actually had an overall increase of 1.6 points in our actual score.
Scapa, Veterans Park Elementary, Picadome Elementary, and Rosa Parks Elementary outscored 99% of all schools in Kentucky. But Dr. Shelton acknowledged results show there is a lot of room for improvement. No high school in Lexington reached the highest status of distinguished, and William Wells Brown in the East End was the lowest scoring elementary school in the state. Looking forward, the United Way is looking to recruit 400 volunteer tutors, one for each child at William Wells Brown.
We've invested about $15 million in the community, and yet we're seeing that some schools are not producing as well as we want them to. And so what we also need to do is bring in what we call human assets, people, to help.
The United Way is making training available for anyone interested in helping.
And taking a look at some of the other schools in central Kentucky, there are some encouraging trends. Clark County ranked in the 70th percentile of all school districts, giving the school system an overall proficient. Jessamine County also received a proficient ranking, scoring better than 82% of all schools. Laurel County's overall score was 71.8. That also got them a proficient ranking. Madison, Scott, and Bourbon counties also each ranked proficient. Franklin County scored 66.2, which is better than last year, but it ranks as a district that needs improvement. Woodford County received a distinguished. They scored better than 94% of all Kentucky school districts. Now you can find a link to see how each school performed at WKYT.com. So some measuring sticks to go by.
It's always interesting to break down those numbers.
Yes. Well, an American freelance cameraman working in Liberia has tested positive for Ebola.
NBC News correspondent Dr. Nancy Snyderman was working with the 33-year-old man in the country. She tweeted that she and her team are self-quarantined. In Texas, health officials are reaching out to as many as 100 people who may have come in contact with the first person diagnosed with Ebola in the U.S. Thomas Duncan exhibited symptoms of the virus shortly after arriving in Texas from Liberia.
Well, rain or shine, a new season is beginning. The fall meet today at Keeneland.
And the wet weather certainly not enough to keep all those hardcore racing fans away. WKYT's Whitney Wetzel is staying dry at the track. She has a preview of what to expect before you go.
Opening day of this year's fall meet is today, and this time around you'll notice a couple of changes. A new dirt track replaces the synthetic poly track that was used since 2006. Of course, you'll still see the regular traditions here like tailgating on the hill, and betologists will also be around to help fans. Now, one concern on this opening day is the rain. However, Keeneland officials say racing is rarely canceled because of rain, but sometimes races are delayed so they can let bad weather pass through.
Horses and jockeys, they're used to riding in all kinds of weather, so the races go on whether it's raining or sunny.
Now, here are some quick facts that you'll need to know. Gates open at 11 o'clock each morning. Post time for the first race is always at 1:05. There are no races on Mondays and Tuesdays. Admission is $5, but children 12 and under are free. Now, this year's fall meet runs through October 25th, and we have all of the information you'll need to know about this year's fall meet on WKYT.com. Reporting at Keeneland, Whitney Wetzel, WKYT.
Fun times.
A lot of people will be heading that way. Keep it right here this mid-morning. There's a song dedicated to this road, but now Route 66 is getting more in tune with drivers.
See what happens when the rubber meets the road. That's coming up this mid-morning.
Looking outside, look back toward the west. Only a couple of showers here and there. Nothing going on west of that. Your bulk of the rain is moving on out here in the next few hours, but what's for the afternoon? We're going to look at a little bit more. Yeah, I'll show you the forecast coming up.